what they call me. Promise that you'll never be lonely. Be the fan.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? It's your girl T Michelle back here with another video, and it was brought to my attention. I brought it to my own attention, but it was brought to my attention, y'all. I haven't been a good host, and I haven't been giving y'all story times. Like, it's been a minute since I gave y'all the story time. So I was sitting here thinking, because I had did the little What's Really Good episode, and I was talking about Summer Walker and how she has fallen victim, and she's trying to deal with the fact that she has fallen victim to devil dick. So then I started asking myself, Tracy, have you ever fallen victim to devil dick? No, I have never fallen victim to devil dick, but I have been stupid for dick. I've never gotten pregnant and then been on some shit like, oh my God, what did I do? I'm really about to have this nigga baby. No, I ain't never did no shit like that, but I have been stupid for dick. So I wanted to give y'all the little story time. Is a difference. It's falling victim to devil dick, and then it's being stupid. Now let me explain to y'all. Devil dick, when you fuck with a nigga that got devil dick, because I know a lot of y'all out there is on some shit like, I got devil dick, these bitches be stalking me. No, it's not that. That's not what devil dick is. Devil dick is, this nigga could do the most trifling shit to you. Like, the most out of this world. This nigga could fucking give you a STD. This nigga could fuck up your credit. He could crash your car. He can fuck another bitch in front of you and you refuse to leave. Like, you just cannot leave, because in your brain, the dick is so good, you ain't never gonna find no dick like that ever in life. So this nigga is just an all the way toxic, just one fuck boy. He's just a complete toxic burst of energy, and you don't care. That's what devil dick is. Now, being stupid for dick, you'll take a nigga back a few times before you actually cut it off. You cut it off, but you take a nigga back a few times before cutting off. He ain't done no trifling shit like that. He just probably treats you like shit. You know what I'm saying? He probably talk to you crazy. He probably be talking out the side of his neck to you, you know, and, you know, you probably take him back a few times. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of being stupid for dick. That ain't devil dick, though. It's time for a story time, story time, story time, story time. I'm about to do a story time. After like 6 months, maybe a year. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to take y'all back to, I was like 21. And I had just broke up with the dude that took my virginity. I had just broke up with him or whatever like that. And I was talking to this guy. And I'm going to use his real name because to this day, I don't know where this nigga is. I don't know if he dead, alive, or I don't know where this man is. And I'm going to let y'all know what happened and why I don't know where this man is. So, me and my first boyfriend, like my first real boyfriend, our relationship, I mean, I thank God every day that I lost my virginity to him. I thank God every day that was my first real relationship, because the shit that niggas be doing these days, yeah, the shit that niggas be doing these days to these oh my God, I feel so bad for some of these young females, because a lot of niggas take advantage of the fact that you fresh, you know what I'm saying, that you fresh, that you don't really know much, that you ain't never really dated, that another nigga has never really had your body. Like, a lot of niggas take advantage of that. I'm not saying all. I can hear y'all now. Shut up. Like I said, if it don't apply to you, shut up. But there's a lot of niggas out here that do be on some grimy shit like that, and they will take advantage of a girl if she don't know no better. So Antoine, he was like nothing I had ever seen before. He is like not the type of guy that I think that I would end up dating, because he was just so different from my first. My first was a real laid back, smooth Brooklyn dude. You know what I'm saying? He was fresh. You know, he used to get fresh. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was a real laid back, cool dude. You know, that's what I loved about him, the fact that he was so laid back. Antoine, that's the nigga that your mama warned you about. That's the nigga that you, let me tell y'all, sometimes you could look at a dude. I didn't know what toxic was back then, but now I know. Like, you could just look at a nigga and just be like, this nigga toxic. He looked like he just toxic. He looked like he come and fuck up your whole life. Dude, he was fucking, I think he was like 5'8", 5'9", or whatever. He wasn't that much taller than me, but he was a little bit taller than me. The nigga was tatted from his neck down, like all over. His entire body was tatted, and he was Crip, so he was tatted with nothing but blue ink. He had sleeves, he had braids, like, and he was mixed, so his eyes was kind of like, how you call them? I'm not gonna say what people say because that's racist, but his eyes were like slanted. His eyes was slanted. He was light skinned, like just all the ingredients of a nigga that's about to fuck your whole life up. I'm telling y'all, ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. All ingredients where it's just like this nigga's too damn fine to be a good nigga. He too fine to be a good nigga. But I didn't know that, y'all. I didn't know that. He wasn't from New York. He was from South Central. He was from South Central, y'all. He was a South Central dude. So he had like a little accent. But aside from the tattoos and the braids and all type of stuff, he had a good job. Like, he was an EMT driver. Like, he used to work for the hospital and he used to drive EMT and stuff like that. And he did his little rap thing on the side. So when I met him, I was looking at him like, is he really feeling me? This nigga was on my body, y'all. When I tell y'all, this man was on my body. He was on my body. Like, he was like, yo, you gotta be with me. Like, there's no way in hell that I'ma just let you be out here. Nah, you gotta be with me. And I had just broke up with my ex, so I was like, and I was scared because I'm just like, ain't no dude ever touched me before but him, and I kind of don't want no other dude touching me but him. Like, it feels weird, like, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all ever been in a relationship with somebody and y'all break up, but you still kind of feel like you're theirs, like you still kind of feel like you belong to them? And that's how I felt when it came to Seth. Seth, no, because I did a video on Seth. But that's how I felt when it came to Seth. I was like, I'm still his girl. Like, even though we not together, I'm still his girl. So I was kind of iffy, like, but he was persistent, y'all. He was persistent. He was like, nah, you got to fuck with your nigga. Like, you have to. Like, you gonna be my girl. Like, I don't care what you say, you gonna be my girl. So we had a date. We had went on our first date or whatever like that. And he was like, okay, so after this date, what's gonna happen? Like, it's gonna be official? And I was like, well, let's see what happens. This is us talking. We was talking before we actually went on the date. And he was like, so after this date, we gonna be official, right? You for real gonna be with me? I was like, well, let's see how it go. Like, cause I was trying to move slow, y'all. Cause like I said, I was scared. I had never been with no other dude. So we went out on a date. I don't remember what date we went on, y'all. I'm going to be honest. Because all I remember is what happened after the date. That's all I remember. Now, dude lives in East New York. He was only like a couple of blocks away from Broadway Junction, for y'all that's from Brooklyn that know what I'm talking about. He was only like a couple of blocks away from Broadway Junction. Dude had a car. I had never fucked with a nigga that had a car. He had a car. And then like his mom's was always working and his dad was disabled. So they had this house that sat like right on the Belt Parkway. And the whole basement was his. Like, he turned the whole basement into like an apartment. He had a living room, he had a bathroom, he had a guest room, and then he had his own room and shit. So after our date, he was like, you want to come back to the crib, or is that too much? Like, you don't feel comfortable I said, nah, I'll come back to the crib with you or whatever. So we go back to the crib, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, because he really had the shit set up like an apartment. And I'm like, yo, this is cool. Like, you basically living at home, but you got your own space and stuff. And he's like, yeah, because I'm saving for a house, you know, for me and my daughter. He had a daughter. First dude I ever fucked with that had a kid. And he was like, I have a daughter, you know, I'm trying to save up for my house and stuff like that. So that's why I'm in this situation. Da, 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 da. But he was just like, yo, Tracy, I'm really feeling you and I really want to be with you. We was talking like every night. Every night. Y'all remember Yahoo Messenger? We was on Yahoo Messenger every night. Da, 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 da. We was on there, and then he would call me and stuff. We was talking every night. So he was like, yo, we've been talking all this time and stuff. He's like, yo, you need to just fuck with me. You need to just fuck with me. I was just like, I don't know. Like, because I don't know what it's going to be like. And then he's like, what are you scared of? He's like, what do you think I'm going to do? He's like, I'm a good nigga. And da 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 da. I was like, I just want to take things slow. So he was like, all right. And this is so corny, y'all. This is so corny. But I was so young. Like, I was so young and dumb. But this was, like, so romantic to me. So, if you Crip or anything, you know what I'm talking about. This dude, right, he had a whole bag of beads. It was like necklaces. And he had a whole bag of beads, right? And he's like, yo, I think I'm falling in love with you. And I want you to have all my crowns. So I was like, your crowns? He was like, yeah, I want you to have all my crowns. Any crown that I ever got, I want you to have. So I'm thinking of an actual crown, y'all. And I'm like, okay. He gave me the whole bag. They call them crowns, the beads. He gave me the whole bag. I hope this is not too much information. I don't want nobody coming to like bust a cap in my ass. You know what I'm saying? But he gave me all the bag full of crowns. And I was just like, oh my God, he really liked me. He was like, I'm just giving this to you to let you know I ain't going nowhere. And da 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 da. And I was like, okay. And he was like, yo, I'm really like, I'm dead ass. I'm falling in love with you. And I was like, okay, and stuff. So he took me home. And then like the next date that we went on, it was, he had called me and he was like, yo, I want you to meet my daughter. I said, okay. Scared shitless, y'all. Because like I said, I had never fucked with a nigga that had a kid. None of that. Scared shitless. And I was telling him, like, I'm scared to meet your daughter. She was small at the time. She had to be like 4 years old. He's like, nah, my daughter cool. Like, my daughter gonna love you. Like, don't even worry about it. Blah, 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 blah. And then, like, I was asking him about his baby mama. He was like, oh, nah. He's like, nah, that's done with. That's done and over with. And it's done with and over with in a way where we can never go back to what we used to be. And I was like, okay. I ain't asked no more questions. So I met his daughter. Everything was good. You know, everything was cool. Right? And he was right. His daughter was so loving. And we got along really well. This is what this is where it comes into play, y'all. Everybody, I don't care, male, female, you always got that one person that awakens a side of you that you didn't know that you had. Like that, and I'm not even talking just sexual. I'm talking period. But it could start sexual. And this dude took me back to his house. And we was in his room or whatever. And we was talking and stuff. And he was like, again, he was like, yo, so you done met my daughter. Like, I let you meet my daughter. He's like, I don't be taking girls to meet my daughter. I was like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm not saying. He's like, nah. So we together. Like, I'm tired of this shit. We together. And I was like, all right, Antoine. Because I couldn't resist. I was like, you right. I'm like, all right, Antoine, we together. Like, yeah, you my dude. And he was like, yeah. He's like, word. He's like, so. He was like, you was serious that you had never been with another dude but your ex? I said, yeah, I was a virgin when I met him. He was like, oh. He was like, oh. So he was like, what kind of things did y'all do? I'm like, huh? He's like, what type of things did y'all do? Like, what did he do to you? Like, what did he do to you sexually? I said, I guess regular sex. Like, I don't know. Like, he was like, oh, yeah. You can see the wheels in his head turning. Like, I knew it was about to be some shit. The way he was looking. He was like, oh, okay. So he was like, he ever ate your pussy from the back? And I was like, what? Eat my from the back? What? Who does that? Y'all, I was so new. I didn't know nothing about that shit. I ain't know nothing. He was like, he never choked you. He never hemmed you up. Like, he never threw you like on a tabletop. I was like, no. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yo, take your clothes off. And y'all, I was scared, but I was like, something about how he said it just turned me on. He was like, take your clothes off. And I was like, okay. Y'all, completely different from my first. Like, and I'm not saying one was better than the other. I'm saying completely different. And y'all, I felt my fucking soul leave my body. Like, I felt my fucking soul. Like, I felt like at his mercy. Honestly, y'all, I did. Like, the day we first had sex, I felt at his mercy. And I was just like, there's nothing that this nigga could ask me to do that I will not do. Like, I was like, I don't know what he did, but whatever he asked me to do, I'ma do. And y'all, it was like he knew that. I had heard, and fellas, y'all can tell me if this is true. I had heard that when a dude has sex with a girl and certain things happen when y'all have sex that make a nigga be like, I got her. Like, she ain't going nowhere. I got her. Y'all, I swear that's what the fuck happened, because the minute we had sex, this nigga started acting stupid. He started acting stupid. And I'm not talking like stupid to where, you know, it's just like, I'm going to explain it. I'm gonna explain it to you. But I'm telling y'all, I don't know what he did. I know now. But back then, I didn't know what he did. I was just like, whatever the fuck we just did, I like it. So, here's where the bullshit starts. So, you know, we kicking it, you know, everything is going cool, everything is going good. So one day he hits me up or whatever, and he's like, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, what's up? He like, I want you to know that you can't play with me. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, nah, I'm just letting you know for future references, you can't play with me. Don't play with me. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't trust women, Tracy. What you mean you don't trust women? He's like, I don't trust women because y'all lie. Y'all be lying. I was like, what are you talking about? And where is this coming from? Because we was having a nice little conversation, and then out of nowhere, he just got real serious. So he was like, yo, I got to tell you something. I'm adopted. I said, okay, so? He's like, nah, you understand. I didn't find out I was adopted till I was 16 years old. And I was like, oh, wow. And so I didn't want to ask too many questions because he was like being aggressive. So I didn't want to get too much of his business. I didn't want him to tell me nothing that he didn't want to tell me. So I was like, oh, okay. And he was just like, he's like, yo, my mother never told me nothing. Like, she saw me every day and she like was acting like she was my mother, and she never told me that I was adopted until I had to go do my medical or something. He had to do medical, I think, for the EMT job. And something, he needed paperwork or something. I think his birth certificate or something. And on his birth certificate was his real mother's name. And he was just like, well, who is this lady? And that's when she told him, like, oh, you adopted. Like, we adopted you when you was like 6 months old. And da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, Tracy, like, this whole time. Mind you, we was both 22 at the time. 22, 21. He was like, yo, but I never got over the fact that she lied to me for all those years. And I felt so bad for him. I was like, damn. And so I was like, well, what about your real mom? Like, do you know who your real mom is? And he was just like, no. He's like, she passed away before I got a chance to meet her. And I was like, oh. And he was like, but if she had told me sooner, I probably could have found her sooner. And da-da-da-da. Like, he was mad, y'all. He was mad. So he was like, I want you to know that don't ever lie to me. Don't ever tell me no lies. And I was just like, okay. I was like, all right. But the nigga was letting me know on the low that he got trust issues. Like, he was letting me know. But at the time, yeah, I was so young. I was 21. I didn't know about shit like that. But he was letting me know at the time, like, yo, I got trust issues. So beware, because I got trust issues. Then he hits me up one day and he's just like, I want you to meet my mom. I said, cool. So I met his mom. It was she was from the Virgin Islands. Real cool lady, you know what I'm saying? She was a nice lady. She was real sweet or whatever like that. Then it turned into, I want you to meet my family. Okay, cool. So the day that I met his family, because it wasn't really like his whole family. It was just like his aunt. And it wasn't like he told me so I could prepare. Like, he would come pick me up and then be like, oh, you meeting my family today. Oh, you meeting my daughter today. Oh, you meeting my mom today. It was shit like that. So, like, I had met, like, his aunt. He had 2 aunts. I had met his father that day, finally. It was, yeah, his 2 aunts, because his family wasn't big. So, it was, like, his 2 aunts, his father, his daughter, and his mom or whatever. But I had met the mom already. So, and I had met the daughter already. So, I was, you know... But the 2 aunts, like, and he left me with them. Like, he didn't just be like, oh, this is my girlfriend. He was like, this is my girlfriend, Tracy. Y'all have fun. Like, he was on some shit like that. But I clicked with them. Like, they was real cool. I felt like I was around my family. Y'all know my family from Trinidad. So, you know, I felt like I was around my family or whatever like that. Everything was cool. We get back to the house. All of us get back to the house or whatever like that. And we all... in the living room talking, and they telling me the type of person that he is, how smart he is, how they so proud of him because he working for the hospital and all type of stuff like that, and how they think I'm a nice girl for him and all type of stuff. And I'm just like, oh, this is so nice. Like, I'm like, oh, this is so nice or whatever like that. So we sitting on the couch or whatever like that, and they just talking and all type of stuff. You know, we having a little family discussion or whatever. And he comes in my ear and he's just like, get your ass downstairs right now. And I'm like, he didn't say get your, he was like, get your sexy ass downstairs right now. And I was just like, huh? He's like, excuse yourself and get your ass downstairs right now. He didn't say it in a way where I was scared, y'all. I knew what the fuck he was talking about. So I was like, okay. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is some new shit. This is some new shit. I never had a nigga be on some shit like that. So we get downstairs. I was down there first. He took a little while because, you know, his daughter, his mom, and all type of stuff. We get downstairs. And he was just like, yo, you just making me fall more and more in love with you every single day. You making me fall more and more in love with you. I was like, oh, baby, that's so sweet or whatever. He was like, I'm about to show you how much I love you. I was like, okay. And y'all, Antoine had a jail body. Like, his body looked like, I don't even know. Because y'all know my type. Y'all know I like skinny, slim dudes or whatever. He wasn't brolic, but for his size, he was brolic. And that nigga took off his shirt and had me touch him all over. Y'all, I can't get too explicit because this is YouTube. But y'all, that nigga went in on me. Like, he went in on me. He fucked me stupid. I'm telling y'all, niggas will fuck you stupid. They will fuck you stupid to where you just like, I don't care what this nigga do. Like, I'm so in love with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that happened. And I'm all fucked up. Like, I'm all just like on cloud 9. Just like, oh my God. Like, this man, damn, the shit he be doing to me. Like, I can't take it. So he's driving me home. This is when the shit starts. He's driving me home. And my phone starts ringing. And it was one of the dudes that lived in the building. Y'all remember how I told y'all in one of my story times that I worked security in a building that was right next to mine. So I had people from the neighborhood that knew me. I had people that I went to school with that knew me, that lived in that building, whatever. And they all had my number because on Saturday night, I used to get tips for watching people's cars. And I used to get tips for letting people in the building that didn't have no key. And he used to come in and out of the building. I think he used to deal, but he used to come in and out of the building or whatever like that, and I used to let him in. So he hit me up and he was like, "Yo, are you working tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And he was like, "Oh, okay, because I got some shit that I gotta do, and I don't want no problems getting in and out of the building." I said, "Nah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there tonight." And he was like, "All right, good looking." He's like, "I'm gonna hit you up later." So the whole time I'm on the phone, this nigga is ice grilling me in the car. Like, he's like, and he ain't never asked, like, who is that? You know, and I wasn't hiding it, y'all. Like, I wasn't trying to be on some sneak shit. I was talking in front of him, like, you know, but this nigga ice grilling me, like. So he pulls up to my building, whatever. I get out the car. I give him a kiss or whatever. He's just like, "Yeah, take care." But he's not smiling. Like, he's just looking at me. Like, he kissed me and everything, but he's just looking at me like, "Yeah, take care." So I was like, I'm like, "All right, babe, I'll see you later." Word to me, yo. I get in the house and I get a message. This ain't gonna work out between us. I'm like, what? And this happened on a Friday, y'all. When I tell you this nigga started breaking up with me every Friday, I'm not kidding with you. This was a Friday. The first breakup was a Friday. And he was like, "This ain't gonna work between us because you want some sneak shit." I was like, "What you talking about?" He's like, "Why the fuck you got niggas calling your phone?" I was like, "Dude, I spoke to him in front of you, and that's my boy that I see at work at night. Like, what's your problem?" Like, I wasn't hiding nothing. He's like, "Nah, I don't want no niggas calling your phone." I said, "Well, then just say that, but don't be saying that I'm on some sneak shit like I'm trying to cheat on you or nothing like that." He's just like, "Well, this ain't gonna work. Like, I don't deal with bitches lying to me." And da-da-da. I'm like, "When did I lie? When did I lie to you?" He's like, "Tracy, I told you from the jump, don't be trying to play me." And I was like, "You know what, Antoine? Okay, fine. Like, if we over, we over, y'all." My heart was so broken. I was like, "No! What did I do?" But I was like, "Yo, if you ain't trying to fuck with me no more, all right. Like, I'm not begging you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even back then, y'all, I was like, I'm not begging no nigga to be with me." Couple of days went by. He hit me up. "Babe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that to you. You know I love you." Blah, 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 blah. Y'all, I ain't ask no questions. I ain't say why you do that. I was just like, "Okay." I'm like, "We back together." He's like, "Yeah, I'm about to come get you." He's like, "I'm about to come get you and put it on you." All right. That was the first incident. The second incident, 2 weeks later after that, on a Friday, he hits me up and he's like, "Yo, we gotta talk." I said, "About what, baby?" He like, "Yo, I just spoke to my ex back in Cali and she's pregnant." I said, "Okay." Okay. He's like, "Tracy, you not hearing me. I talked to my ex back in Cali and she pregnant." And I said, "Are you telling me that is yours?" He's like, "I don't know." I said, "Okay, so what exactly are you trying to say to me? Because I'm confused." He's like, "I don't know if it's mine, but I left Cali like 7 months ago and she's 7 months pregnant. So it could possibly be mine." So I'm thinking to myself now I'm thinking to myself, if she said, why she waited 7 months to tell you? But okay. I was just like, okay. I'm thinking he telling me because he think I'm going to break up with him, like I'm going to leave him. I was like, well, if it's yours, I mean, we'll deal with it. I mean, you already got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got a problem with you having a daughter and da-da-da. He's like, no. He's like, that's not what I was telling you for. I said, so what are you trying to say? He was just like, I got to break up with you. I'm like, why? He's like, because if that's my kid, I want my family to be together. If that's my kid, I'm moving back to Cali. I'm going to be with her and I'm bringing my daughter with me. And I was like, hold the fuck up. I'm like, is that how shit work? He's like, Tracy, my family is not about to be separated. Like, if that's my kid, I'm going to go be with her and I'm bringing my kid and I'm moving back to South Central. I was like, Antoine, but you don't even know if that's your kid. How you breaking up with me? You don't even know. He's like, it don't matter. He's like, it don't matter, y'all. This ain't gonna work out between me and you. Y'all, I was like, I can't believe this shit. And this is when I started noticing every Friday. It's some shit every Friday. Every other Friday is some shit. What's going on? What type of relationship is this? So again, y'all, I'm heartbroken. I'm like, I can't believe this shit. This nigga done broke up with me again. Like, what the fuck is... In my head, I'm like, this is probably the best dick I'm gonna ever have in my entire life. This nigga done broke up with me. I don't know what to do with myself. Like, oh my God. A couple of days go by. A couple of days go by. He hits me up. Babe, I miss you. Babe, I'm sorry. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have did that. That's not mine. She eventually told me that it's not mine. She was just trying to get me back. And y'all, again, I was stupid. Didn't ask no questions. Okay. All right. So we back together now. We back together again. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you know you my baby. You know I love you and da 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 da. 2 more weeks go by. And he hit me up like, yo, I need to go get my car fixed or whatever like that, but I want to see you, so can you make it over here? I was like, yeah. And he was like, I'll just take you with me to like get my car fixed, and then like when it's done, I'll bring you back home. It wasn't broken or nothing. Wasn't nothing wrong with his car. He was getting it customized. Like he was getting stuff added to it. So he was like, when they done with it, I'll just, take you back home or whatever like that. So I went and got cute, y'all. I went and got cute. To this day, I'm still not a girl that likes to wear skirts, but I put on a little dress for him. And I was completely covered. But I was cute. And back then, y'all, I was real slim. But I always had big jugs. So I was real slim or whatever like that. I pull up in the car, bam. Like, look at me. Like, I pull up. This nigga was looking at me like, what the fuck do you have on? He's like, because I'm walking into the house. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, baby, how you doing? Okay, how you doing? We going inside. He's like, wait. He like, get over here. I'm like, what happened? He's like, why are you wearing that? I'm like, wearing what? He's like, your titties are so big. I'm like, yeah, and you know that? He's like, yeah, but I can see them. Like, I can see that they're big. Y'all, I never was the type of person to be wearing loose shirts and all type of stuff. I never was. So it was always evident that I had a big chest, that I was heavy chested. But for some reason, I guess the skirt must have brought it out more. But he was on some shit like, I can actually see how big your chest is, and I don't like that. So I was like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, I ain't bring no change of clothes or nothing. I'm sorry that you don't like what I'm wearing, but I got cute for you. He like, nah. He's like, get in the house. So I stomped my little ass into the house because I'm like, yo, this nigga, what is his problem? Stomped my little ass into the house or whatever like that. This nigga had this big ass shirt. He gave me this big ass shirt and it had his face on it. As a cartoon. Y'all remember back in the day they used to have like them graffiti shirts. You get a white tee. I don't know. Maybe this was like a New York thing. Maybe it was like a New York thing. But it was a white tee and you get your face graffitied on it with your name graffitied on it or whatever like that. So his nickname used to be Shiest. So he had this he had his face on it and his Shiest growing across the it was on the back. Shiest was on the back. So this shit was like a dress on me. It was like a nightgown. He's like, yo, nah, put that shit on. Nah, because you're not going with me like that. You're not going with me nowhere looking like that. I'm like, babe, this shit is way too big. Like, he's like, I don't care. He's like, put it on or we not leaving the house. So I put this shit on, but I rolled it up. Like, I customized it. So, because like I said, y'all, it was like a dress. So we go to AutoZone or whatever like that. And he telling the people, yo, I want my my wipers, my windshield wipers to look like this. I want this on my door. I want my mirror to look like this and all type of stuff like that. So they like, all right, it's going to take us probably like 3 hours or whatever to do all this, and then we'll call you and you can come pick the car up. So we had to walk back to his house. It wasn't a far walk, but I had on heels or whatever like that. Back in the day, yeah, y'all, I used to wear heels. I told y'all I was trying to be cute for him. So we walking, he's mad. He's mad at the sound that the heels is making. Like he's mad, he's mad. And he's just like, yo, we could move so much faster if you didn't have on them damn shoes. And I was just like, well, what the fuck would you like me to do? He's like, well, what the fuck? You want me to carry you? Is that what you want? You want me to carry you? And I was like, Antoine, if you don't shut the fuck up. I'm like, because you've been on some bullshit ever since I got to your house. Like, I don't know what the fuck mood you in today, but you need to cut that shit out, because I could kindly go the fuck back home. Like, y'all, we didn't have one of those relationships, but just because he was giving me good dick, I was quiet. I ain't never been the type of chick to be quiet when a nigga's talking to me crazy. So he was talking to me and like that, and I was just like, nigga, if you got a problem, I can kindly go back home. He's like, no, I'm just saying, I will carry your ass if you having a problem walking faster. So there was a dude in a truck, because we was walking through the AutoZone parking lot. And there was a dude in the truck. And the dude is like, yo, my man, why you talking to her like that? This nigga turned around and I'm telling y'all, I told y'all he was from South Central. The Cali came right out of his throat. The Cali came right out of his throat. The same way sometimes when I be talking to some people out here and the New York come right out of my throat, the Cali came right out of his throat. And he was like, cuz, who you talking to, cuz? Who you talking to like that, cuz? I was like, yo, we gotta go. Like, we gotta go. He's like, what it be, cuz? What you trying to say, cuz? What you got? You got a problem, cuz? That's my lady. I can talk to her how I want to, cuz. He was just like, I think that she look nice, and you talking to her crazy. Da, 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 da. Mind your business, cuz. Mind your business, cuz. He was going in on the dude. So I'm grabbing him and I'm pulling him. I'm like, babe, can we just go? So we get back to the house, right? I'm mad. I don't know what he thinking, but I'm mad. I'm sitting there, and I was just, in my mind, I was just like, yo, I'm going to fuck home. I'm about to call a cab, and I'm about to go home. So I took off this big-ass shirt that he gave me, and I put my shirt back on. And he's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm going home. He like, why you going home? I said, because you being an asshole, and I'm going home. And he was like, no, you not. I was like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, I was trying to play so big. I was like, yes, I am. I'm going home. I'm going home. He's like, no, you're not. You're not going home. He like, sit your ass down. I was like, no. So I went, and I'm on the phone trying to call a cab, and he didn't walk up to me aggressive or nothing like that. He didn't walk up to me. He didn't walk up to me aggressive or nothing like that. He walked up to me real slow, and he took my phone out my hand. He didn't grab it or nothing. He just was like this is the phone. He was just like, and put it on the table, and he was looking at me. And he was looking at me. I was like, what's your problem? Like, I'm amped. Like, I'm hyped. And he all calm and shit. He just looking at me. So I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? And he was just like, you my problem. I said, well, what's your problem? And he's like, you my problem. He said, you my problem. You showing up to my house looking all sexy, looking all good, and you think I'm supposed to be cool with you going out like that, and I'm supposed to be cool with niggas looking at you like that? That's mine. That's my pussy. That's my ass. And I'm like, and I'm standing there like, oh, yeah. And he's like, say that's my pussy. Say that's my ass. Say that body is mine. And I'm like, it's yours? It's yours, yeah. He like, take it off. Take everything off. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, this is how the shit always started. Like, you know, he would be cool 1 minute, cool, calm, and collective, or whatever 1 minute, and then like this aggressive sexual beast would come out of nowhere, and I was hooked on that shit. Like, yo. So yeah, we did the deed or whatever, you know, on the floor, on the floor in the middle of the living room, and then he took me home. I think a week had went by or 2 weeks or whatever. I can't remember how it went, y'all, but I wasn't hearing from him. Like, after that incident, I wasn't hearing from him. I was calling his phone, no answer. I was texting him, no answer. I would see him online. I would hit him up online. He would sign off. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why isn't he talking to me? Like, we didn't end on a bad note at all. Like, the last time I saw him, you know what I'm saying, he had me on the floor getting rug burn and shit. Like, what had happened? Nothing, y'all. I hit him up about nothing. I didn't hear nothing or whatever like that. So I called his house. It had been like 2 weeks, and I called his house, and his mom's answered the phone. And I was like, oh, hi, Ma, this is Tracy. And she's like, oh, Tracy. She's like, I haven't heard from you. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? And I was like, Ma, I'm trying to find Antoine. Where's Antoine at? Like, he not answering his phone. Is everything okay? She's like, oh, you didn't know? I'm like, no, what? She like, oh, Antoine moved. He went back to Cali. What? What do you mean? She's like, I thought that you knew. Like, he had told me that he had told you that he went back to Cali or whatever like that. I'm like, I didn't know that shit. She's like, yeah, he been gone for like 2 weeks now. I'm like, well, what the fuck? It's not Friday. It's not Friday. We ain't had no beef. We ain't fought. Like, what the hell is going on? I said, so this nigga broke up with me and I didn't even know? This nigga left town on me, y'all. He left the state, didn't say shit, and I didn't hear from him until 6 years later. 6 years later, y'all, I heard from him, but the nigga left, skipped town on my ass, didn't tell me nothing, didn't say, babe, I'm going or whatever. Come to find out that he had some, like, legal problems that was going on or whatever like that, because when I heard from him again 6 years later, that's what he was telling me, and then he disappeared again. He disappeared on me again after but at that time, after that, I was older. I didn't care. I was just like, okay, well, whatever, thanks. Thanks for the memories. But yeah, y'all, that's my story time. The nigga broke up with me and didn't even tell me. Yeah, I'm telling y'all. And like, every time he did some dumb shit, all I could think about was that dick and the shit that he used to do. It wasn't even the dick, y'all. It was his technique. That's what it was. It was like, I never had a nigga be aggressive with me. And I never had a nigga like him, like I said, hem me up and like, give it to me. Like, I never had a dude like that. And I was stuck on stupid for like a good 7 months, y'all. But yeah, y'all. That was my story time. So like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. I hope YouTube don't flog me because, you know, this was a little graphic. I ain't getting to all the details that I could. But yeah, y'all, I hope YouTube don't fucking flag me. But yeah, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all so much. I thank you so much for supporting me in this shit. Y'all know I love doing this shit just for y'all. I do it just for y'all, just for my peoples out there. Make sure you hit my other social medias. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about me. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace!